When people think of the biggest Toronto rappers / singers, Drake's name always comes to mind. With the amount of accolades and controversy to match, Drake's name usually would be the first choice. However, another name should come to mind when it comes to exports from our greater Toronto area. Tory Lanez is the second most successful rapper / singer and songwriter to come out of the GTA. Even while he's currently sentenced and incarcerated for the shooting incident with Megan Thee Stallion, his monthly listeners still sit at 22 million monthly listeners at the time of this recording. Drake has definitely shown support for Tory through his darkest hours, even taking lyrical shots at Meg Thee Stallion himself. However, once upon a time, the two megastars were not as cool. Today we're going to go through the beef that at times got pretty serious between Tory Lanez and Drake before they finally found a common ground. Sit back, relax, smash that like button or you're dissing, and leave your comments below for this real Toronto story. Tory Lanez, real name Daystar Shamuel Shea Peterson, was born July 27, 1992 in Brampton, Ontario. His father, Sunstar Peterson, immigrated from Barbados, and his mother, Luella, born in Kiriko. With 5 siblings, Tory had 2 older sisters, 1 older brother, and 2 younger brothers. The family started in Brampton, Ontario, a part of the greater Toronto area just north of the city of Mississauga. At the time, Brampton was an ethnic mix of Caribbeans, European, and Asian families before the heavy South Asian influx that started in the 2000s. A lot of the people in Brampton were also from families escaping rough areas in the Toronto area like Rexdale and Jane and Finch to live a better life. In high school, Tory was a pretty popular guy and was always known to gain a lot of attention.
Over basically, but you did mention a couple of people there. Keisha Shante, and Mr. Tory Lanez. Did you go to school at the same time as them?
Yes.
Like in the same school?
What year that was. And Tory was maybe, I think he might be maybe 2 years behind me. So Tory was always rapping in the halls. What he came to do is what he was always doing. He always had a big mouth and he was always talented. So
even from a younger age, he had bars, as seen in the viral video of him at his high school in a cypher.
Your fit is my target and not the market. I'm aiming at your ass, the left side of your cartilage. I start this, cool on this bitch. You can call a nigga August. Bounce right back on your ass like Spalding.
At a young age, Tory's life saw major tragedy when his mother suddenly died from a rare disease triggered by anemia symptoms. At that point, his father, Sunstar, became a minister and started traveling with a ministry throughout Canada and the United States. This somewhat split up the siblings, with some of them going to Montreal to live with other family. Some stayed in this greater Toronto area, and others like Tory traveled with his father to places like Florida, Atlanta, and New York City. In New York City is where Tory would harness his rap skills after getting a major ass-kicking from his cousin in Madden. This encouraged him to put pen to paper with his original rap name Notorious, which he obviously got from one of his rap idols, the Notorious B.I.G. One of his homies, Hakeem, gave him the name Lanez from the way that he would swerve on his skateboard through the lanes in the streets. Eventually, the Notorious got cut down to Tory, and the artist Tory Lanez was on his journey. Almost. At that time, around the age of 15, Tory was a little bit too much to handle for his grandmother in Queens, so she sent him back to Toronto. At this point is when Tory really had to hit the streets, literally, to the point where he was pretty much homeless, surfing from couch to couch and living wherever he could find with other vagabond friends. Around 2007, 2008, Tory basically became a local Toronto rapper and was doing shows in the scene as well as collaborating with other up-and-coming artists.
So I shot the video, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Brampton. This nigga Lanez actually shot the video.
Really?
This is when Lanez was out in Brampton. He shot the video.
That's a Toronto hip-hop fact right there.
Wow. In these times is when he linked up with popular local show promoter Freddie Fame, who put him onto various live shows, as well as traveling back to Atlanta with him to help him advance his career. Freddie Fame was acting as Tory's manager at the time, but the two fell out, and Freddie went back to Toronto and Tory stayed in Atlanta. In 2009, Tory dropped his debut mixtape TL to TO, TL short for ATL, and TO for Toronto. This led to Tory meeting with platinum reggae pop star and scammer Sean Kingston. Kingston helped Tory to get some of his first real connections, and it was obvious that Kingston could see the raw talent in Tory Lanez. Simultaneously, Drake was already collecting W's in the local Toronto rap scene. Drake had already released the Room for Improvement mixtape, was getting radio play and label interest, and even went through 2 rap beefs at this point. Also in 2009, Drake dropped the So Far Gone mixtape, signed to Young Money, and was able to accomplish feats that at this point, no other Canadian rapper ever reached. By 2010, Drake was definitely way ahead of Tory in his rise in the music industry. 2010 was also the year that Drake dropped his debut album, Thank Me Later, with features from Jay-Z, Alicia Keys, Jeezy, and all the industry heavyweights that catapulted him to the #1 spot. This is when the two rappers' images finally crossed paths. A video popped up that was deleted and reposted called Drake's little brother Tory Lanez spits flames in the room.
Raised in the slums, streets of the league, niggas creeping, jeans fatigues, no sleep when it's sleep with your mouth.
In the video, Tory is seen in a small bedroom in front of a mic spitting a crazy freestyle, and rumors started flying whether this was really Drake's little brother. In that same year, Tory released 5 mixtapes: Just Landed, One Verse, One Hearse, Playing for Keeps, and Mr. One Verse Killer. Throughout the bars in the project, Tory coined the phrase New Toronto, which is a direct alternative to the 6, which was created by Jimmy Prime of the Prime Boys and popularized by Drake. By the end of 2010, Tory decided that he needed to get the boys' attention directly. This is when Tory Lanez issued the 10K challenge.
Set the record straight. I'm not Drake's little brother, I never have been. Now Drake, I get compared to you on a daily basis, and it's an honor, I like your music. But I got 10 G's here that says you will love mine. And if for any reason you don't like my music, 10 G's is good.
The video was a direct challenge to get Drake to even listen to his music, but knowing some of how Drake moves, I bet he already had. Some of Drake's homies started jumping into the beef, like Preem, formerly known as P. Rain. In an Instagram post that was quickly deleted, he warned, "Hey kid with all the beads on, behave yourself before I really have to remind you you're from Brampton. Niggas let this rap shit gas them." A few days later, Tory took to his own IG, seemingly responding with, "This whole calling Toronto the 6th thing, it's not cool, bro." That was later deleted, but then followed up with another post stating, "I support everything that comes out of Toronto. Don't let me be misunderstood." Tory definitely got Drake's attention, and with the backing of Sean Kingston, who was scorching hot at the time, he signed a deal with Sean's Time Is Money Entertainment. That led to 2011, when Tory dropped Mr. Peterson, Chicks Tape, and Swavy. In the Swavy mixtape, Tory responded to P. Rain's comments on the song Wooden Beads.
Take a look at me. Boy, I go as hard as my wooden beads.
He also had the song 10 Times with his first Meek Mill collaboration that will come into play with the beef later on in this story. Also maybe a reach, but he had a feature from Houston legend Bum B, who was featured years earlier on Drake's So Far Gone mixtape. It was during this time that Tory and Sean Kingston would part ways due to shady business dealings on Kingston's part. Duh. At the end of 2011, Drake dropped what a lot of fans deemed to be his first classic album, Take Care. Leading into 2012, the album quickly went platinum and won multiple awards with 3 Grammy nominations. Drake was on top of the world, with rumored relationships with Rihanna and the whole industry behind him. Tory was rising too, but still had some bad blood from the past OVO back and forth. He decided to get a little bit more direct with the 2012 Sincerely Tory mixtape.
No blow, but the niggas been patient. Low blows, niggas just hating. Oh no, they just wanna mess around, turn me to the nigga that I used to be.
Part of the annoyance that helped fuel Tory's fire, in my opinion, was the comparisons. Both Drake and Tory rap and sing R&B, both from Toronto or the GTA if you want to get technical. This, along with past YouTube videos claiming to be Drake's little brother, helped to paint the narrative of Tory being baby Drake or Drake's son, as coined by DJ Academics.
Tory Lanez is mini Kendrick. Tory Lanez is my mini Drake.
Drake was already an international rap and pop star, with Tory still independent and out of his first bad record deal. 2013, Tory dropped Conflicts of My Soul, the 416 story. The shots stayed pretty minimal on that project for the most part, but there were still songs that still could be perceived as shots, like Icy Dicey.
She girl popping, they blackballing, I'm still driving, I'm toned up on that well stock, and no fuck boys never will stop.
2013 also saw the release of my favorite Drake album, Nothing Was the Same. To my assessment, I didn't hear any shots of Tory Lanez on that album. Between 2013 and 2015, Tory was hard at work for that top spot. He went on tour with G-Eazy. He released a plethora of singles and started his Fargo Friday series, which he released a song, video, or project every Friday. He started writing and co-writing with major artists like Akon, August Alsina, T.I., and Travis Scott. He was also getting way closer to Drake's success than in his earlier career and was gaining his own American fan base as well as love from back home. In 2015, Tory signed a deal with Mad Love through Interscope Records, and in July of that year, dropped the smash hit, Say It. Top of the year, he also featured on the same album as Drake via Meek Mill on Meek Mill's sophomore album, Dreams Worth More Than Money. Tory appeared on the hook for the intro track, Lord Knows, while Drake appeared on the very controversial track, Rico.
The girl of your dreams to me is probably not a challenge.
The reason for the controversy was because that was the song that Meek felt that Drake took a shot at him, and later revealed that Quentin Miller wrote the bars for Drake on the song. It would be from there that we would get the epic battle between Meek Mill and Drake that gave us the classic back-to-back.
You love it and you gotta get a world tour. Is that a world tour or your girl's tour?
However, during the heated battle, Tory Lanez stayed pretty silent on the matter, but responded on his own project that would up the ante. In December of 2015, Tory dropped the classic Chicks Tape 3, and the DJ Drama assisted The New Toronto. The title of the mixtape alone was a statement that Toronto was going into a new age, and Tory Lanez would be the one to lead us there. Another divisive thing about the mixtape was the DJ Drama hosting. At the time, Drama was the one that revealed the secret to Meek Mill about Drake's ghostwriting. This was allegedly stemming from an issue between Drake and DJ Drama, where one of DJ Drama's girls got swiped. On the mixtape, both Tory and Drama took subliminal shots at Drake and his whole team. January of 2016, Tory released the hit single LA Confidential, and later that month appeared on Jimmy Kimmel Live.
I always want you to. You gon' have to do more than you.
Tory Lanez was the next certified rap star coming out of Toronto and only had room for growth in the game. He even refused the XXL freshman cover because he felt that he was already past the other artists that were on the cover that year. And that was the cover with Lil Uzi Vert, Kodak Black, 21 Savage, and more. Drake had enough of the shots and finally responded in January of 2016 on the single Summer 16 that was released on his OVO Sound Radio as a promo for the upcoming Views album.
All you boys in the new Toronto wanna be me a little.
This opened up the floodgates, and from there, Drake began to take more precise shots. In April 2016, on his Pinnacle Views album, Drake took shots at Tory Lanez on tracks like Hype and Western Road Flows.
Don't get alone, man, we tried it. What's the point in even trying? I hate a goofy especially. They always dying to mention me. Y'all was so afraid to lay claim to it. Too busy face screwing on waist movements. You was riding TTC Metro, I had the place booming.
Tory responded a couple months later with the Controller remix that some said was even better than the original that was on the Views album.
I been looking for you, baby. You know that a nigga wavy.
When asked about the shots that Drake took at him on Views, Tory played dumb, acting like he was surprised Drake would even have an issue with it.
To be honest with you,
yeah,
I don't know what that man has against me personally. Or
where's that energy coming from, though?
Nah, wait, look, I just want to finish my statement.
Do your thing.
I don't know what that man has against me. Me personally, I don't got nothing against him. It's all happy and positive on my side.
To fuel the flames even more, Tory finally took sides on the Meek Mill-Drake battle by appearing on Meek's first album post-beef, DC4. Tory appeared on the smash single Liddy Again. Though the song didn't have any direct shots, the collabo alone was a loud statement that Tory chose a side. At this point, it was clear that the two biggest rappers out of Canada didn't get along, and the media was there to cover all of the drama. 2017, the beef continued right off the first month when Tory released The New Toronto 2 and continued lyrical jabs on Lick and Drive You Crazy.
And I pray I never dress like y'all. Only bird on my shirt is when I press that raw.
Drake replied a couple months later on the More Life album or playlist on the outro track Do Not Disturb.
Song is like taking my kids to work with me. You overnight celebrity, you one day star. Swear I told you that I'm in this bitch for eternity.
At this point, Tory had received his acknowledgement in the form of multiple subliminal disses from Drake. Tory went from offering Drake $10K to listen to his music to becoming a millionaire with music that was inescapable. Both men had money, power, and shooters, and coming from the same place, the two crews would eventually have to run into each other. May 23, 2017, 2 months after Drake's More Life project dropped, a picture surfaced on TMZ that was shared over multiple news and social media outlets with a photo of Drake and Tory Lanez side by side.
Honestly, it was between two of our friends, one of his friends and one of my friends, and they had been to each other previous to this, and just previous to this whole like little whatever this was, and pretty much they got on the phone and it just came to be a thing like, yo, y'all should just talk on the phone because y'all are probably, probably beefing about something that's not even like that serious, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Through mutual friends, the two were able to get on the phone to resolve their differences, and from there, the friendship began. Videos started surfacing of the two showing support for each other, and the crews hanging together, and even Tory and Drake playing basketball together. Even during Tory's legendary quarantine radio that went down during the world lockdown, Drake was regularly in the comments and even joined on a live stream.
Don't say nothing yet. Don't say nothing yet. Let us give you your intro. Ultimate light skin. Ultimate light skin. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen.
Another rap star that joined those legendary live streams was Megan Thee Stallion. Unbeknown to the audience, Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion were in a secret relationship that would come back to bite Tory in the ass.
His legal name is Daystar Peterson. Shot Megan's feet during an argument in the Hollywood Hills July 12th.
In July 2020, news outlets started flooding airwaves and timelines with videos of Meg Thee Stallion walking backward after an incident from where she received a bullet wound. At first, she said it was glass, but after more investigation, reports revealed that it was indeed a bullet wound, and the people were dying to know who was the shooter. First, Tory Lanez was pretty quiet, but when the court of public opinion started pointing the fingers at him, he decided to break his silence to start his campaign to prove his innocence to his fans.
This, that, and the third, and there was gunshots in Kylie Jenner's house, and Tory Lanez goes to jail. They gave y'all all the facts of the juice of Tory Lanez going to jail, and this, that, and the third, and Megan getting arrested, and da-da-da-da. 2 days after that, I get a call from Rock Nation that says, yo, we heard you're gonna make a statement about what happened, and it'd be in your best interest if you don't make that statement.
Megan wasn't trying to hear that shit, or maybe Rock Nation, and days later she posted the legendary IG Live that shook the world.
So worry about it. Yes, this Tory shot me.
Megan Thee Stallion pointed the finger directly at Tory Lanez, and the media frenzy caught major fire. At first, many artists were not trying to be next to Tory Lanez as he became more radioactive based on the Protect Black Women think pieces that started filling up the algorithm. However, as Megan started to talk more, the people will start to believe her less, and the tide began moving in Tory's favor. In 2022, artists like Quavo and DaBaby started showing support for Tory Lanez once again. That same support will result in Tory violating a protective order with Megan Thee Stallion after he popped out at a Rolling Loud performance during DaBaby's set. The live performance and the close proximity to Megan backstage triggered Meg to take additional legal action. This caused an arrest and the judge to increase Tory's bail condition from $190,000 to $250,000. A lot of people speculated if Drake would outwardly support Tory Lanez since his accusations were so inflammatory towards women and the possibility of alienation of a big part of Drake's fan base. But when Drake and 21 Savage teamed up for the banger-heavy album Her Loss, Drake made it very clear whose side he was on with the track Circle Local.
Till I been to $1,000. This bitch lie about getting shots, but she's still a stallion. She don't even get the joke, but she's still smiling.
In the song, Drake rhymes, "This bitch lie about getting shot, but she's still a stallion. She don't even get the jokes, but she's still smiling." Definitely caused a lot of controversy. However, Drake later on went to clarify that the line wasn't a shot at Meg Thee Stallion, but more of an ode to natural-bodied women. Nonetheless, this still caused Megan to react in a post demanding Drake take her name out his mouth. As Tory went to trial against Meg Thee Stallion and the state of California, Drake stayed pretty silent, as I'm sure it would affect the case in the court of public opinion or through all the media coverage. In December 23rd of 2022, Tory Lanez was convicted on 3 felony charges in connection to the shooting: assault with a semi-automatic handgun, having a loaded and unregistered firearm in a vehicle, and gross negligence in discharging a firearm. In early 2023, he was sentenced to 10 years and is currently serving time in the North Kern State Prison in Delano, California. In February of 2024, Drake broke his silence via Instagram in his stories, showing support to Tory with a picture of Tory Lanez accompanied by a caption, "3U," slang for free you. At the time of this recording, Tory is currently incarcerated, looking to get his case reviewed for appeal. He has continued to put out bangers since his incarceration, and hopefully he will be able to see his freedom sooner than later. Even at the end of the writing for this piece right here, a new track with DDG and Tory Lanez was released, where Tory Lanez shows solidarity with Drake in regards to the epic battle with Kendrick Lamar.
I be up praying and waiting for the day that niggas confirm me the way the drizzy. I got the card in the wallet, them big brody problems, my problems, so fuck how you feeling.
Throughout the ups and downs of this once complicated relationship, the only thing missing from the Drake and Tory Lanez story is an epic collaboration. Maybe one day we could see that, as well as the two performing the song on stage together, making Toronto and Canada proud.